Are Guitar Heroes a thing of the past? I don't think so. I think the parameters have just changed. Let's talk about it. You are you, I don't like your girlfriend, and this is a video. Specifically, Guitar Heroes aren't anything new. You've got the big boy names, Jimi Hendrix, Van Halen, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, etc. But what makes a guitar hero? Is it selling out arenas, being a household name, and being incredibly famous? I wouldn't have said so, especially not nowadays. I think guitar heroes are still there and prevalent, but it's just on a smaller scale. It's like I read somewhere, rock isn't dead, it's just not pop anymore. And with the introduction of modern pop, the guitar has taken a bit of a back seat, and guitarists along with them. Any guitarist that inspires you is a guitar hero. They're iconic in your eyes, and that's what matters, right? Some of my favourite guitarists, the ones that truly inspire me on a regular basis, are smaller. I'm not saying underground or fucking whatever, but just not the same as the ones that used to roam the stadiums. Artists like Chris Buck. Oh, I got a text from Domino's. Artists like Chris Buck and Ruben Wan, Mateus Asato, Hamish Riley, Alex Parvis, Joe Langridge Brown. I could go on, but I think I've proven my point. That point being that these artists inspire me far more than the guitar gods. In their prime, there was no one bigger than some of these guitarists. They paved the way for modern music. I mean, look how huge the Beatles were. A lot of people look to John and George as completely influential guitarists, and rightfully so, but music-wise, think of how broad the Beatles' spectrum was. Going from I Wanna Hold Your Hand to Helter Skelter to fucking I Am the Walrus. Remember that one? I am the walrus. Look at you. Yeah. A lot of musicians were inspired by them, and that in turn trickled down to you and me. The way guitar is going, some people could see it as troubling, with insanely talented guitarist Tim Henson saying that he hates rock music and rock guitar specifically, which is interesting when as a child he called himself Timmy Pissing Hendrix. I'm looking at you. But those are the roots of the guitarist, and obviously they can change and develop, but I know for a fact that rock music isn't going anywhere. It's maybe changing a little bit and shifting, but hey, genre is completely arbitrary, so shut up. If you listen to albums like It's Okay to Talk by All Us in Love, or any Greta Van Fleet song, or what the fuck Vukovi is doing, mwah. Also Wolf Alice. Loads of them. There are loads of them about. It's not going anywhere. But speaking of Greta Van Fleet, like them or not, and whether they admit it or not, their sound is basically Led Zeppelin, but now. And people hate on them for that, which is complete bollocks, because if anything differs from this classic rock sound, you hate it. But then when they do it, you hate it as well. What the fuck are you on? You can't have it both ways. So quit your elitism and shut the fuck up. Watch my video. Wherever it is. Back to the fucking point. Let me go there. Music isn't going anywhere. You can tell by the fact there's still blues music and classical music and fucking ska for some reason. You cannot like it, sure, but music is so ingrained in the human condition and psyche that music of any genre is going to get made because we get attached to it. I mean, my parents played Rumours once and that was game fucking over. The symbol of a guitar hero has come a long way since the time of the Giants. They've become more introspective on the person admiring them, and with the introduction of the internet and content creators, they've gotten smaller in scale, through no fault of their own. They're becoming less and less of a household name, and more of a talking point for musicians. It's like a trading card game for the unemployed. I'm kidding, because I too am a musician who is between jobs. No matter who it is you idolize, no matter what genre, it's important to keep them close in your mind and your heart, and most importantly, your music. Because you can develop and change, but it's always good to remember where it is you came from. Bye. Got the big boy names: Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, etc. But I can't remember how this bit goes. Tits. What? Ow.